Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to World of Warships Legends. I am Zarkoon, and today I have got, what's the term? A bit of a barnstormer of a game for you. And it is in the Tier 5 Warspite B, which I did not buy. Actually, I got lucky enough to unlock the Warspite B in the crate that you get for completing the Black Friday mission. I got the crate, and I was hoping to myself, let's open this thing, let's get a ship. And sure enough, I open it, and I get the Warspite B. So that gives me, of course, the Atlanta B, and now the Warspite B. And oh my gosh, am I glad I got this ship. I had no idea how utterly fantastic it is. Basically, it's the Queen Elizabeth, Tier 5 British battleship, except the AP on it is not that British short-fused AP. It's like regular battleship AP. And the Queen Elizabeth is good enough even with that short-fused AP, although it can make it kind of difficult to get really big knockout hits on battleships at the waterline in the Queen Elizabeth. But this thing, oh my gosh. So right off the bat, we do take 12,000 damage off that Gallisonnaire. And we do have a Nuremberg out. The Gallisonnaires coming around for more, so we're gonna have to be kind captains and oblige him. Almost take him out there. Of course, he is a French cruiser, so most of those shells overpenned, but he's thinking twice about the move he was about to pull there. And we're not really short on targets here. We've got this broadside Nuremberg, this broadside Queen Elizabeth. So many targets to shoot, but who to choose? Oh, you know what? Mr. Gallisonnaire wants to come around, probably to launch his torpedoes. So, he's done enough this game. He needs to go back to port, rethink his actions. There's the first kill, 26,744 damage. Not a bad start, and we do get a small touch on the Nuremberg over there, who continues to sail broadside towards the Alpha Cap, it looks like. 3 out of our 4 turrets are about to be reloaded. Nuremberg is still broadside, so we send a 3-gun salvo his way, and as T-Bull would say, he gone. Now we've got the Queen Elizabeth here, and this Queen Elizabeth, I believe, let's see, what is he doing? Is he broadside, or is he turning away in anticipation? Ah, yes, he is making the wise choice. He's turning away. Unfortunately, we are having some shells rammed up our hindquarters from probably a pesky little cruiser over there, but we do get a nice touch on the Queen Elizabeth for 7,000 damage. That's pretty good damage for AP at an angled target like that, right through the superstructure. I mean, these guns pack a wallop of a punch. It is just beautiful. Sorry if I'm gushing too much, but I love this ship. I cannot believe... I'm so glad I got it for free without having to buy it, because, I mean, I'd heard people say how great this ship is, but... whew, I probably never would have bought it myself. So I'm glad I got it. And honestly, I might have to use this ship in the Tier 5 ranked battles. It is so great. It is possibly... I mean, these are just my first impressions. I think this is the second game I've played in this ship. The first one, I got out of position a little too early. It was on that new Atlantic map, and, I'm not familiar with the map. Neither are a lot of other players. I managed to get cornered by a Tirpitz of Bismarck and like 3 other cruisers that came around an island that I did not know were on their way, so I was taken out in pretty short order. But this game, oh boy. I mean, already doing better in it, up to 81,000 damage now, and we are facing down another Queen Elizabeth who has decided to go around this island and use it for cover. Secondary's opening up now, getting a couple little taps on him, but of course they're not doing a whole lot of damage. So, gonna lock the guns and reverse it now. We've got 3 battleships behind us, but they don't appear to be too concerned about our presence here. We are going to execute a turn to starboard, and we are going to go around this island to the left here in order to face off against the Queen Elizabeth. However, that Farragut right there launches torpedoes at the Queen Elizabeth and does not take him out. So that is unfortunate. Most likely the Farragut here is going to die. But, you know, I mean, that's okay. He's generously going to leave the rest of that Queen Elizabeth for me. So I can't complain too much. I am starting to take fire from the enemies to my rear, so it is vital that I clear this island and execute a hard turn to starboard in order to limit the number of ships who can shoot at me. Plus, we do have, I think that was a T-61 approaching the B cap, and this ship is slow and not the most maneuverable ship in the world, so I don't necessarily want to be going toe-to-toe with the destroyer. But I'll go toe-to-toe with this here Queen Elizabeth all day. Send a full salvo his way, hit him really hard there for 10,000 damage, and he is angled, so all that's like, I think, superstructure pens and all that kind of thing. Just fantastic damage, and you can see we've taken barely any damage ourselves. We're like 45,000 HP at a 53,000, so a little bit under 10,000 damage we've taken. This Queen Elizabeth elects to go broadside. Big mistake. We delete him outright, and that gives us our 3rd kill. We're now at 117,000 damage, and we still have what I would call a target-rich environment. There's a Queen Elizabeth over there, a Texas, and another battleship. I think there are 2 Texases. 2 Texi. I don't know. There's 2 Texases, if I am not entirely mistaken, and we do still have to worry a little bit about that enemy T-61. You'll notice that the teams are almost even on points. We're ahead by not much, and we're about to be overtaken because the enemy does hold, or is receiving, more capture points than we are, although we are up on ships, which does give us a little bit of an advantage, but we do need to take back some caps here pretty quickly, and it looks like our team is doing that in the C cap. But it's not going to be really effective if this T-61 takes the B cap, which he is going to do. So, in order to get ahead on points here, we're going to have to kill some ships. And we do have the Texas right in front of us. He is presenting a nice broadside. He almost loses spot right there, but we do get the salvo out, and we chunk him for not a whole lot of damage, you know, but it's not bad. We're at 123,000 damage right now, and we are not done yet. Gonna send up the spotter plane because I know that T-61 is hanging around somewhere, and I need to see his torpedoes as soon as humanly possible in order to have any chance of really dodging them. Now the Texas does get chunked by an ally there. We hit him for about 4,000 damage, I think, and he is on very low health. One more salvo ought to do it. Looks like the T-61 is on the other side of the island, so he is not an immediate threat to me. The same cannot be said for my teammates over there. They are going to have to deal with him pretty quickly here, and I am going to kill this Texas. There he goes. 4 kills now, 129,000 damage, but we are not done yet. We've got a second Texas peeking around this corner here, and he is given up an awful lot of broadside. Unfortunately, we can only get one gun on him, and we do hit him for one penetration, and he goes unspotted. But he pops right back up, shooting at us. Let's see. His salvo does take a tiny little chunk off of our health there. And then we've got this, I believe that is a Queen Elizabeth shooting HE at me. Does light me on fire, but that's okay. One fire is not that big of a threat. The Queen Elizabeth, on the other hand, is showing me a fair amount of broadside, so I'm able to take a shot with the rear turrets there. And now with the front turrets. Don't get anything on that salvo, just a bounce, but that's okay. That one's better, 4,700 damage. Nice little number there. Queen Elizabeth still shooting at me with HE. I do put the fire out. That might have been a little bit of a misplay on my part, but it's okay. The Queen Elizabeth is again giving broadside, and this time he gets the full salvo. So let's see what this does here. Ooh, 10,000 damage, not bad. Could have been better, but that's okay. About to get the heal back online and start that. Am lit on fire again by this pesky Queen Elizabeth. He really needs to go. So the guns are about reloaded here, and I'm thinking, you know what? The Kraken Unleashed medal is in play. Can I take this Queen Elizabeth out with this salvo? No, of course not. Leave him on just enough health to get away and let somebody else have the kill. That is unfortunate. Could have been a Kraken right there. We are at 160,000 damage, and we still aren't done. There are, 2-3 minutes left in this battle, and we still got one ship. That is the Texas. So I could still potentially get that Kraken if I can kill this Texas. Unfortunately, he is at full health, and the entire friendly team here is going to be focusing fire on him. That hit on the Texas brings me up to 167,000 damage, and the Confederate award, which is great. And now I'm getting on the mic to my team here. I'm asking, please, if you would be so kind, hold your fire a little bit. Maybe let me get this kill on the Texas so I can get the Kraken. Of course, my team is under no obligation to do this, and I don't know if they heard me. But, doesn't hurt to ask. So we're chunking the Texas again for another 8,000 damage, and I'm feeling pretty confident that I can take this guy out. I'm kind of hoping he'll give me some broadside. I am at probably quite a bit less health than he is, which puts me at a slight disadvantage, but I'm not the only one he has to worry about. Of course, he is shooting at me. I think I'm probably the closest target to him and potentially the lowest health target, so it makes sense. But his salvos are, thus far, have bounced off and are basically been completely ineffective, except for that one. That one chunks me pretty good. And he is showing, I believe, yep, he's showing a bit of broadside. So I'm gonna hit him with all 4 of the main guns here. See what that does. Will this take him out and give me the Kraken? Nope, takes one of his guns out though. Unfortunate. At 187,000 damage right now. That is just beautiful. The Texas is not gonna survive for much longer. I am down to 6,700 health. So this is a bit of a precarious situation. I'm hoping that this shot will find a citadel and take out the Texas, but no, we get one shatter, which on the broadside of this Texas, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Unfortunately, the team takes him out and the battle ends. No Kraken, but a great game nonetheless. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Got World of Warships Legends content coming all the time. Look at that, almost 4,000 XP. Well, alright, that does it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.